Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Sylvia, the Design Director for JustCo. Today, I'm very excited to share about how the future of offices in the new normal, especially in today's day and age, where everyone is adapting to a post-COVID-19 environment. First things first, just a little bit about myself. I have about 13 years of experience in architecture, design, and project management. I've designed 40 plus architectural projects and interior spaces across 18 cities, working together with a wonderful team for the award-winning Mahanakon in Bangkok and Marina One in Singapore. As the design director of JustCo, my time is usually spent coming up with design strategies for JustCo's co-working spaces. I oversee the in-house design team at JustCo, where we conceptualize and design all of JustCo's co-working spaces across Asia Pacific, which includes the private office suites, enterprise suites for our members, to the games area, pantry, collaboration spaces, meeting rooms, and even our front of house, visualizing how all of this would come together in a large space or more. We also go down to the details of what type of wall mural, if there is, loose furniture, textures, and any key feature moments that would be a best fit for each center. In today's new normal, there are many questions and doubts on how the office would be like in a post-COVID-19 world. So I'm here today to share more about this. Let's get started. I'm sure many of us has gotten used to remote working and working from home. You may also be wondering, what would be the new normal for offices of tomorrow? In light of COVID-19, companies and businesses have been forced to adapt quickly and practice remote working or working from home. I believe that this is something many of us would be familiar with. During the early stages of COVID-19, many businesses started seeking for alternative working arrangements as part of their business continuity plans. But this has also evolved over time with work from home mandates or country lockdowns set by local government. Many companies had to set in place stringent measures to ensure safe distancing and reduce contactless interaction among employees, which is definitely something very new for the real estate sector. Also, companies are reducing high workforce concentration in one location and seeking for branch offices as part of their alternative working arrangements and split team, specifically for their employees whom are not able to telecommute and have to be working nearby and still be in compliance to the safe distancing requirements. With this change and uprising trends, what does this mean for the office industry then? So we are seeking an increase in demand for short-term workspace solutions as businesses are looking for workspaces that offer maximum flexibility, but at the same time with minimal commitment. Businesses are seeking for workspaces that allow them to adapt to different situations and move in and out when they require. We also see more and more companies, even the historically traditional businesses, decentralizing their workforce. They are housing specific business units in different workspaces. To raise an example, for large corporate businesses, there needs to be a hybrid of solutions that will suit many different business units and their functions. They are starting to rethink their strategy of housing all employees under one roof, weighing the pros and cons of exposure, operational risks, and more. To add on, workers have gotten a taste of the remote work life, and many also hope that they will continue to have the flexibility to work from home. For example, many big tech companies, like you all know, such as Twitter, Shopify, and Facebook, have since announced permanent work from home arrangements where their employees can work from home forever. With such an uprising real estate trends, where do co-working spaces like JustCo position themselves? In pre-COVID times, co-working spaces will serve as a platform to provide a shared workspace that allows businesses of all shapes and sizes to come together to network and to access a dynamic community, find collaboration opportunities. It is largely associated as a home to startups, entrepreneurs, but in recent years, large enterprises as well. However, in the new normal, the co-working model will appeal to businesses that are more aware than ever of the need to seek for maximum workspace flexibility that allows them to adapt to different situations with minimal disruption. Corporates are starting to rethink its real estate strategy and work arrangement as they recognize the importance of a flexible, reliable, and sustainable workspace solution, one that allows them to respond to different situations in the future. With real estate costs easily being the top two biggest expense in any businesses, alongside with payroll, we also say that flexible workspaces are no longer limited to business continuity plans or swing space purposes, but have become a main real estate solution because of its cost effectiveness. The need for flexibility and adaptability applies not only to mindsets and ways of working, but also to how spaces are designed and planned. In Singapore, square footage comes at a premium, and multiple generations often live within the same family home. As such, it becomes clear that working from home is a difficult concept to execute. Home offices are rare. Family intrusions are also very common. Noise, heat, poor internet speeds are often raised as a challenge. While we work from home, we are often faced with many limitations, especially when we are unable to easily connect and collaborate with one another. Working from home means we have fewer chances of face-to-face interaction, which can provide important information about social relationships. Social interaction at work is very impromptu, but working from home removes the possibility of such spontaneous social events. Over time, the relationship between employees could also suffer. Humans are social beings and we require physical interaction and companionship. The barriers between work and life has been blurred, and many has found it harder to achieve work-life balance with work from home. It's especially so when our homes are meant for relax and de-stress. But now it has become our work environment. Many a times we find ourselves working more than what we need to while working from home. Instead of being able to turn our chair to our colleagues for a quick discussion, it has now been replaced with more emails, instant messages, calls, which probably resulted in prolonged work hours due to the lack of productivity. In turn, many found 100% working from home impossible. Now that I've covered about these changing workspace trends and how it has impacted us, let's deep dive into how is JustCo repositioned in this new normal. Perhaps we all might feel that offices may be seen as redundant or unnecessary now that we are all working from home. However, before we head towards that direction, perhaps I can share some interesting stories. As covered on the Business Times, the bigger trend is a rising demand from enterprises and large corporates, including Fortune 500 companies. With remote working being the new work style and cost pressures ahead of the unpredictable future, co-working spaces have been receiving new inquiries with more companies adopting co-working. Why is that so? As businesses are faced with uncertainties and cost pressures ahead, companies need more office solution options that allow maximum flexibility. Companies would not want to be tied down to long lease and want to have the flexibility and agility to react to any changes to the business environment. In Singapore, large corporates are choosing co-working, and is evident in our latest centre openings at OCBC Centre East and the Centre Point in Singapore, housing clients such as L'Oreal and Riot Games. Some companies have asked us to assist with their overall planning to ensure that they are meeting the guidelines imposed by the government regarding social distancing as well. As such, JustCo's Core and Flex program is created to offer flexibility for businesses to adapt to different situations. Companies can access to a blended mix of customized office solutions, be it for long-term headquarters, private suite setups, or short-term spaces for satellite teams or business continuity plans and more. They have options to upsize and right-size as and when they require. At the same time, they will benefit from communal amenities and services such as common pantries, collaboration corners, IT support, and our on-site community team to assist on daily requests and more. As seen in the infographic, businesses can get to enjoy their own private office, one that is conceptualized and customized to their own preference, along with a private entrance, a holding area, company branding, and more. At the same time, for companies that decide, hey, I don't need that many permanent meeting rooms, or I do not need my own pantry, they are actually always free to access the common areas to hold their discussions or team meetings. However, in today's post-COVID world, we do foresee the way we design and reconfigure our spaces. In our existing centers, communal spaces, and meeting rooms, we are reducing, controlling density by removing some furniture. We are also deploying a crowd management analytics to track and evaluate how often are spaces being used, a technology that allows JustCo to monitor how crowded our space is and to also manage our members, getting them to move to emptier spots. For our newer centers, we are looking to decentralize the amenities and spread them out to prevent any hotspots. Likewise, we are looking to provide more amenities such as phone booths, since people will be doing a lot of virtual calls. How do we envision the office of tomorrow to be like? Business leaders are seeking for nimble offices that allow maximum flexibility with minimal commitment. They are also looking for hybrid solutions, which is ideally a combination of remote working and office presence. Employees are after the empowerment on work schedule and location. It's not that they want to work from home every day of the week, but they wish to have the flexibility and option to choose and to decide where to work from that will be the most productive for them. As we all know, due to COVID-19, in order for companies to pivot their businesses, many have been adopting digital transformation, integrating new technology into their businesses. Similarly, for JustCo, we will be launching our very first smart co-working space at the Center Point at the end of October. What's so special about this center? Firstly, it offers an on-demand workspace usage model, enabling anyone to work from anywhere. You don't have to be tied down by any more long-term leases, while getting to enjoy maximum flexibility. Consumers will also only need to pay for only what they need, while enjoying unlimited co-working benefits at ease, such as hot desks, meeting rooms, phone booths, exclusive networking events, and they get to enjoy the games area as well. With more demand for short-term leases, we wanted to give our clients such a concept that takes away the need for commitment and maximize their cost savings that can be better put into other areas of their business development, such as developing their own tech, innovation team, and more. JustCo at the Center Point will also feature interesting technology features, such as facial recognition, card-free access for members to unlock center entrances, meeting rooms and private suites via our JustCo app. Members can also place orders at the in-house cafe featuring a robotic barista arm that allows them to order and customize their desired beverages to a high level of precision, be it your latte, kopi o, teh siew dai, or even alcohol. All our orders, customization, and payment will be conveniently done through the JustCo app. This new smart co-working center is something that we are looking forward to, especially me. And it will be launching at the end of October at the Center Point. So, are we really bidding goodbye to offices? I hope not. But to reinstate some pointers on how the future of offices will be a hybrid of core and flex model. With the on-demand workspace usage model, companies benefit from maximum flexibility and minimal commitment. Offices will also still serve as space for employees to connect with one another, bond, stay engaged, and more. Ultimately, employees are seeking for the empowerment to be able to choose where and when to work from. Besides JustCo physical spaces, The connections within the community is also something that we truly stand for. How so? A physical space is where human interaction is formed. Research suggests that unplanned face-to-face interactions are often important drivers of new ideas, an effect often known as the strength of weak ties. In co-working spaces, when we get to collaborate from cozy discussion corners, get a caffeine fix at the common pantries, picking up our documents from the shared printers, etc., these are frequent touch points that sparks conversations and eventually drive creativity and innovation. As mentioned earlier, with long continued period of remote working, it has made us value the social interactions and community element, which plays an important part of our work experiences. Humans are social beings, and we crave for physical interaction and companionship. While working from home can allow others to see the human side of us and strengthen certain relationships, client relationships, for example, it is difficult to build culture with people you work with day to day through virtual means only. The time spent with our colleagues when we sit down to brainstorm, to write a lot of notes on the whiteboard as well, with ideas bouncing freely across the room and later heading to lunch together, is something that cannot be replaced. I would say that it is the trust and relationships that have been built pre-COVID that has allowed remote working to work relatively well during COVID-19. To share a little bit more, in June this year, we also launched a new initiative called the JustCo Campus, which is a three-pronged program where members can consult, connect, and learn through a wide range of event formats. It is definitely very useful in today's business landscape where everyone is remotely working. Just like today's webinar, I'm sure some of us here are attending this while working from home or remotely working. I myself have also been attending various virtual seminars, panel discussions, and more to keep in touch with the latest industry happenings. As you know, in this new normal, COVID-19 could be here to stay. For JustCo, our community is one of our biggest focuses, and we curate and organize almost one event every day of the month for members. With COVID, physical events have been converted to a digital platform to ensure that our members continue to stay connected virtually. During a time like this, I've also engaged with my team members, where we met online and attended a yoga event curated by JustCo, which was like a team bonding activity for us. Usually when we are in the office, it was easier for me to see how my team members are, how they are coping. While we work remotely, it was a lot more difficult to get a sense of that. So I've prepared some welfare packs and had them delivered to my team, as I really miss working together with them in the office. This is especially so because the elements of collaboration and physical interaction in our workspaces have always been the place for companies to foster culture, collaboration, and engagement amongst their staff to ensure employee satisfaction. In a post-COVID era, businesses will also have to consider how will employees create meaningful relationships with each other if there are no chance to meet for small talk in the office. Isolation can also alienate employees. Many of us find comfort confiding in our trusted colleagues, be it work struggles or personal matters. This naturally creates a positive bond among employees, resulting in a more productive and creative work. So for the past few months, I had many people asking me if COVID-19 actually marks the death of office space, or particularly the co-working industry. My answer is that COVID-19 has definitely changed and reshaped the way people work, with remote working as the new norm. However, we believe that the future of offices will be a hybrid model. Employees will be empowered to choose when, where, and how they work. It will no longer be having everyone concentrated in the CBD area. We will start seeing decentralization of office spaces, with employees working in suburban areas, somewhere nearer to home, like One North, Changi, so on and so forth. Hopefully, we will see more of JustCo coming to your neighborhood. Businesses today are more convinced than ever that flexibility and agility in all aspects of their business, including real estate, is the way to go forward. I believe working from home will not be forever, but working from anywhere may well be the new norm. On some days, people may want to work from home, and on others, they may want to come to a conducive office setting to meet their colleagues for discussions, client meetings, or simply to have some social interaction. Therefore, disposing of an office space may look like a straightforward decision for cost cutting in such times, but businesses have a lot more to consider, with their employee satisfaction high on top of the list. More so, we can expect changes in terms of workspace layout and design. By number one, we could reconfigure our layout to disperse communal areas throughout the center instead of concentrating them. Secondly, we can provide contactless entries into our centers to minimize touch points. Third, we deploy spatial analytics or crowd management analytics technology to track how occupied are our spaces. With this in mind, JustCo's holistic total work solution is here to bridge the gap, offering a balance and paving the way for our clients and members. I hope through this presentation, you've gained some new insights and how co-working still remain as a viable option for all businesses in the new normal. Thank you.